one Evertonian is worth 20 Liverpudlians.
Oh, it's great stuff by Everton.
Heritage.
On a misty day down on the Mersey, our latest moment in history. Everton Women became the first ever women to play at the new Hill Dickinson Stadium as they face off against Manchester United in the WSL. The 2025 season is quite unlike any other for Everton FC. We famously pride ourselves on our prolific history and being a club that was amongst the first to do so many significant things in sport. Now we find ourselves in a special moment in time where we're creating many more firsts to add to our illustrious repertoire. A sensational new build on the city's waterfront is awaiting a lifetime of stories to be written, whilst a hallowed ground with many lifetimes already under its belt begins yet another new chapter of its own. There will always be thousands of Everton stories to look back at through time, and we'll always be one of the so-called originals as founding members of the Football League. We'll always be the ones who were the first to wear numbered shirts, the first to have a purpose-built stadium, the first to have a 3-tiered stand, and even the first to appear on television. But there's a lot of value in acknowledging that new history is being written as we speak. We're alive at a time where we can be witness to moments that can be talked about for generations, and every week sees something new etched into the annals. In Everton's first season down at the Docks, and Everton Women's first season at Goodison, this is a time when we can ignore everybody else's claims and create firsts all of our own. Before the game, I spoke to captain Clare Wheeler, goalkeeper Emily Ramsey, and journalist and Everton Stadium announcer Giulia Bould. So just how important do you think it is for the visibility, particularly of women's role models, not just on the pitch, but as coaches? Of course, we've got a women's CEO now as well as pundits and reporters and journalists like yourself.
Yeah, it's huge. I know the Lionesses have often said, if you can't see it, you can't be it. And I get that completely. When I was growing up, I don't really remember too many women journalists, and there's still situations now where we're still a minority. And I think what I love seeing now is more girls. I've just been at a school today with some of the women's side, and you know, all the girls there said, who plays football? And most of them put their hands up and they said, oh, I'd love to be a footballer, I'd love to play for Everton. And I think that's what this has done, particularly Goodison, is seeing little girls of 5, 6, 7 that can be their dream now. And that's what's super important about this. And you know, if you don't want to come to Goodison, if you want to leave Goodison where it was, that's completely fine as well. But also, this is why it's so important, because for a long time there's been whole generations of girls that had no choice. They were never going to get to play at Goodison, and now that's a reality. And even one-off games like this at Hill Dickinson, they can grow up and walk out to Z cars, and that, I think, you can't even put a price on that. And that is what is iconic for me about this whole situation now. And yeah, 2 iconic stadiums, very, very close to each other as well. I think it's brilliant.
What does it mean to you to potentially be in that starting 11 or to be in the team that will be the first women to ever play on this pitch? Is that significant to you?
For sure, it's really special. And obviously, we're really glad to have Goodison Park this season. It's a wonderful home for us, but with this stadium being brand new, you're always looking in the schedule, wondering if we're going to have a game here, and really excited to come on this pitch for the first time and soak up a bit of that atmosphere and play in this new brilliant stadium. So it's definitely a special moment. It's one that I'll remember for sure, the first time I played here. And hopefully we can come out, put a really good performance on and get some points.
I mean, my first time to Europe was through football, and when I've come here and to play, when I describe it back home to people, I link it to religion, if I'm honest. Like it's part of the fabric of the people within this community, and it's obviously somewhere they go, you know, every Sunday. You know, you sing the same songs, kind of like choir, you know what I mean? And it means a lot. And people obviously put, you know, their hard-earned money into the club, and to, you know, it represents the community, and that's why I link it to kind of religion in a sense. And it's with that passion that I feel like immense responsibility as well when I put on the shirt, that I'm representing more than just, you know, myself and this team, but it's a wider community, and that's how I kind of describe it.
With Goodison Park in particular, do you think it feels like home yet?
Yeah, do you know, again, I wasn't totally sure when I first went that, how's it going to feel? Is it going to feel like Goodison was? Is it going to feel like Goodison knew? I think as the results come, it will definitely feel like home. There was a point on the London City Lionesses game, and there was a group of, I think they were a girls' football team at the Park End, and they sang all the way through. And while it wasn't the result we necessarily wanted, that for me started to feel like home, how young girls football teams have been coming along to the games already and seeing it as theirs, and that ownership from other people I think is going to make it feel like home to the players. But yeah, it is, we've seen it with the men's side. I mean, unbeaten here is incredible, but I think even they had a concern that was it going to feel like an away stadium. So it does take you a little bit of time, but yeah, with the fans' help, I think it will certainly start to feel like home very, very quickly.
The majority of fans are probably going to be right behind you. Are you looking forward to having that backing from the South Wall?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as players, you feed off the crowd's energy anyway. So with them being so close to the pitch as well in the stadium is brilliant, and we're hoping for a good crowd to come cheer us on. And when I go down the other end, I get to look at the stand as well. So it's really exciting.
Do you get that opportunity as a goalkeeper to, I don't know, perhaps when Everton are attacking, do you get that chance to kind of maybe not sit back and relax, but to take it all in?
Do you know what? It's more in the moments where things have stopped. It's like walking out onto the pitch, you sort of feel it. You get a feel for where people are sitting, how many people are in. In the game, you sort of go into that like laser focus where things are sort of blocked out of your head. But anytime, if we score in front of this end, obviously I'll get a wonderful look at the crowd celebrating, and then any stoppages in play in big stadiums, you just got to take it in because it's just a nice moment to enjoy.
As a team, you're part of a really special moment in time for a very special club as well, both at Goodison and Hill Dickinson now as well. Is the history itself important to you, or do you think it might be something that you look back on in years to come?
I think the history is immensely important. I think this is a turning point potentially in women's football in regards to taking that next step, and I think it shows immense progressive thought from the owners to want to take that leap. And obviously there's been it comes with a lot of investment on their part to keep Goodison, to make the changes they've made. And I think with time, obviously the fans we've also seen now with our average attendance is going up. So hopefully in time, maybe it's not in my playing career, but maybe the next one, that you'll see like obviously bigger crowds, and that's ultimately where we want to go. So I think I take immense pride being a part of this kind of maybe that next step in women's football.
You'll be defending the posts that most weeks belong to England's #1 goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Is the magnitude of being an Everton goalkeeper something that you're aware of, or even something you take pride in?
Certainly know there's a good history of good goalkeepers at Everton, and you can see even on the women's side with Courtney May, we've had good goalkeepers in the past come through at Everton. Rachel Brown-Finnis was England's #1. She was at Everton for many years. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a heavy shirt to put on, but there's definitely respect for what's come before you. And looking at Jordan with the men's team, like he's been so consistent for so many years. It's definitely someone to aspire to be like. And seeing him play for England as well, his record and his numbers there is so impressive. So I think it's a good responsibility to have to be an Everton goalkeeper.
As a player playing at Goodison, can you feel the history in the place, like when you're out there under the floodlights?
Yeah, it's not also like a feeling, but you can also just see it. Like obviously when we're in the dugouts, walking through the change rooms, you have obviously all the photos and the memorabilia around you of the players who have come to pass through Goodison, and obviously on the outside as well. And obviously the owners have put in a lot of investment to make it our own and add some of the Everton Women history in there as well. But you're obviously in the moment. I'm representing Everton, but I can appreciate that a lot of other players have taken the field there and helped this club to be where it is. And I take an immense pride to try and do my best in the shirt as well at Goodison. It's definitely a large difference, obviously, at Walton Hall Park. Around there, I think the capacity is around 2,500. To now, I think the average is around like 5,000 we've kind of been getting. So that only there is like double what we were getting at Walton Hall Park. And obviously as well for the fan experience of it. So at least the fans now can have a seat. If it's raining, there's options to be undercover, whereas there was none of that at Walton Hall Park. So I think it's obviously good for the fans as well and the enjoyment of watching the game.
You've had a front row seat, haven't you, for this the transition into both of our new homes, starting with the women's move into Goodison Park. Could you describe the significance of this move, and what does Goodison itself mean to the club as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it felt like the end of Goodison was a thank you and not a goodbye, didn't it? Which I was quite relieved at, because I think many of us would have been a bit of a mess on that last day. And actually I was the stadium announcer at Southport as well, so that wasn't even the women's home. Then we moved to Walton Hall Park, which felt a huge point of that, because it was all branded. I remember going in the first time and seeing, you know, welcome to Everton Women, and just the Everton colours and things, and that meant something. And then we outgrew Walton Hall Park, and we'd had COVID in the middle of that as well. So yeah, to be handed Goodison, I think, is a huge, first of all, huge statement of intent from the Freaking Group, which is massive. And I know on day one that they put their key objectives out, and the women were very much part of that. So that was huge. So yeah, to be given the keys to Goodison, it feels this whole new legacy for Goodison, which it's going to play a massive role in how Everton Women will grow. And I don't think you can understate that at all. And it's such an iconic stadium, as we all know, that, you know, to see the women walk out that first time, I was really emotional. I had to fight back tears, to be honest, and I didn't think I was going to feel like that, but just to see it actually happening, and I'm excited for what's to come. And then, yeah, to get a game here at Hill Dickinson as well, it just shows you it's night and day now what has happened with the women's side.
Has it been nice to experience Goodison, at least from the dugout?
100%, it's a great occasion when it's on as well, and you can feel the buzz around the grounds when we're arriving, when we're getting warmed up and people are coming in already. So it's a really good day as well that they've been putting on at Goodison, and it's exciting that hopefully week on week we can keep increasing the crowd and increasing the support. Obviously we know that the performances have to come with it, and we want to make our home ground a difficult place to come and play. So that's what we're setting out to do from here forwards. So hopefully we can keep a better record at Goodison.
Does it feel like home yet?
As much as a home away from home from Australia can be, yes. I think, when I came here, I think when I look at the club, it's definitely giving me that community feel. I felt really supported, and that's why I've stayed here for as long as I have. I feel that this environment and this club is where I need to be the footballer I want to be.
You grew up not so far from here in Salford. Does that mean it's particularly nice for you and a nice fixture to be facing the Red of Manchester United? Yeah,
I think it being United makes it that little bit more special for me. I came through the academy at United from a really young age. Was in the first team there too as well. So it'll be a nice moment for me playing against them. I've played against them before, and it gives you that little bit of extra motivation. And my family will be here in the stands as well, who are all Reds, but they won't be wearing the red shirts on Sunday. So it'd be nice, and hopefully we put in a really good performance.
Following the immense successes, I suppose, of the Lionesses and even the England women's rugby team this summer with the World Cup win, women's sport as a whole kind of feels like it's riding the crest of a wave at the moment. Do you think that the increased focus is something that's kind of a moment, or are we seeing like a sign of things to come, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it around the London Olympics as well, because Jessica Ennis-Hill was such an icon in that. And for me, that's when I started to feel a little bit of a turning point, not necessarily in women's football, but certainly in women's sport. And we felt that sort of trying to move it along, and it was brilliant to see that. And yeah, the Lionesses, what they have done for women's football, I don't think we can thank them enough for that. And that's their sheer hard work as well. And, you think back to sort of Jill Scott, who was being travelled up and down the motorway at night and having a job and things like that, and then to end up where they are now and rightfully sporting icons all around the world. So yeah, I think we are on a crest of a wave. I don't think that wave is anywhere near finishing. I think it's just going to be a tidal wave that keeps coming, and that's what we want to see.
Now, on a personal note, I've no doubt that you must feel quite a sense of pride around your work for Everton, at least, and in journalism as a whole, of course. Not least because, of course, you've earned your place there. Do you enjoy coming to work? Yeah,
you can tell by the look on my face. Even just being here when it's empty, what a privilege it is to announce teams and to have had. It's not about me at all, so I don't want to make it about me. So I've had that little moment that I was the stadium announcer for the first women's game at Goodison, and I had to get a hold of myself actually, because I thought I'm going to go here, and I thought I've got a job to do and I've got to keep it together. But yeah, and I got to do the men's stadium announcing as well, filling in for Rossi, who I think is brilliant at what he does, and to have that little opportunity as well. I'm so grateful, so fortunate, I'm so lucky, and yeah, it doesn't go beyond me. And I think people can see on a match day, I just enjoy every single second of it, same as a fan as well. I just take it all in, and yeah, I love seeing other people enjoying it as well. So yeah, I'm very fortunate. I do work very hard, don't get many days off, but I don't care when you get to be at places like this and at Goodison. It doesn't feel like work sometimes, so I'm very lucky.
Despite the tough opposition, it was Everton who struck first. Some early missed chances and good saves from Emily Ramsey prevented Manchester United going in front before the historical moment came in the 16th minute. Japanese international Honoka Hayashi lashing into the roof of the net, becoming the first woman to score at Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's the first goal in the women's game at the new stadium.
I think it's really valuable to take stock of moments like this. As historians and researchers will tell you, when you look back through history and you look at things like the first days of Goodison Park, things are so valuable when you look at the first-hand experience of the people who were there at the time. And we can say we're here at the time in a historic season where pretty much every week we're getting brand new firsts. With 18,000 fans in the crowd and a fantastic atmosphere. The Toffees went in at the break 1-0 up. United turned the game on its head in the second half, and 2 quick goals put them 2-1 to the good. Former Everton players Jessica Park and Gabby George were introduced for the Reds, and Park ran the show alongside Lioness Ella Toone. United increased their lead as Everton pushed for an equaliser late on. 4-1 final score. Not the result the Blues were looking for, but an historic and momentous occasion nonetheless, as fans in all corners of the stadium made the most of a great day, and the players took pride in another Everton first. It's part of WSL regulations that teams play at the so-called men's grounds once a season to aid the visibility of the league, and the exposure that this fixture has brought to young fans cannot be measured, as the game of football was made more accessible and the stars on the pitch carve a visible path of possibility and opportunity. The final word comes from manager Brian Sorensen in his post-match press conference.
Can I just ask you how you found the experience of being in the stadium, and more specifically the honour of being the first women to ever play here?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great experience, and as I said, I think those are the opportunities the new ownership are giving us, and we're really grateful for it. And I think it's a day we'll think back for with all our pride. Of course, we got it that we couldn't keep the performance over the 90 minutes, but at the end of the day, we also need to be realistic. Like, that's where we are at the minute against a top side like United. So yeah, I'm really grateful for the day, and I thought the atmosphere was superb.